My eyes felt like galaxies, holding the swirling glow of countless memories as I took in our childhood home. Its siding looked like remnants of driftwood after a bonfire. I swore I smelled the smoky char of pine creep into my nostrils. It's wild how the past stays with you like that. Jesus, it feels like just yesterday. I placed a trembling hand over my heart, struggling to steady my breath. My brother, Perry, pulled me into a tight embrace, his strength grounding me like an anchor. The house hasn't changed much, he said, his voice steady and comforting. Between the two of us, Perry was as solid and stoic as a mountain range. Good thing, because I was like the wind, flighty and unpredictable. Over the years, Perry had learned to handle even my harshest hurricanes. Being his older sister, I always wished I'd been his protector. I hadn't had a drink in exactly 730 days, and although it remained unsaid, I knew Perry was terrified of leaving me to my own devices in fear I would relapse. Our sibling bond was ironclad. After we lost our parents in the fire, all Perry and I had was each other. The house's dilapidated front door creaked as Perry gently pushed it open. After you. Perry gestured me in, squinting from the sunlight. As he held the door open, the shallow scar on his right cheek taunted me like some kind of schoolyard bully. That mark became permanently etched on Perry's face on the day I quit drinking, exactly 730 days ago. That was the day Perry screamed bloody murder at me from the passenger seat. Jackie, stop the fucking car. But my bloodstream was far too poisoned with Bacardi Limon. Well, you coming in? Perry was still holding the door ajar. I shook it off and gave my brother a knowing glance. I swear, even though we were fraternal, we had twin telepathy. I exhaled and walked in. Watch your step, I warned, my forehead tense. 2 decades later, there we were, Perry and I, making our way through the wreckage of our home. It was midday, yet the inside of the house screamed a tone of pale blue midnight. My shoulders were up to my ears, as though we were walking through a haunted house attraction. Jax, look at this. The fireplace. Perry's voice was filled with awe. Unbelievable. It's still here, I whispered, a lump forming in my throat. It was as though a fairy godmother breezed by and brought the decaying living room to life with her magical paintbrush. We made our way over to the fireplace and sat cross-legged on the floor. This was our favorite spot, remember? I avoided his gaze, overwhelmed by the flood of memories. Yeah, Perry murmured, his eyes softening with nostalgia. Remember our Esmores nights? I asked. Perry leaned back, holding himself up with his hands. I loved our fireplace hangs, especially our movie nights down here. But nothing beats our movies up in the projector room. I tilted my head. We never had a projector room. Perry playfully shooed me away. The house suddenly became pin-drop silent as Perry leaned in. Memories are quite something, aren't they? The slight shift in his tone made my skin crawl. Perry was always wistful, but this felt different, almost clinical. We often remember things in ways that are easier for us to digest. Perry jarred me back to reality with a gut punch of what he had to say next. You're remembering the truth about Mom and Dad, aren't you? My brother looked down, delicately tracing the floor with his finger. We always put them on a pedestal after they died. As Perry continued to speak, his words grew even more detached. Do you remember that first drink Dad ever gave you? My eyes darted around the room as my jugular pulsed to my neck. As much as I tried to escape what Perry had just said, I did remember. I'd used the death of my parents as the excuse for my alcoholism for so long, because admitting that they helped create the monster I would eventually become was like a knife to the heart. And knowing I had been too weak to conquer the addiction for my own volition just made the weapon twist. My fingernails dug into my thighs when I looked at the fireplace, and it was gone. Only a blank wall of faded, forest green wallpaper remained. Our house was once on fire, yes, but that was it. There was never a happy childhood fireplace. Ever.